Yep. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of For All Ballerz. I'm your host, Al Wooten II. Today we have another special guest with us, Coach Fred Jones, running back coach and run game coordinator for the Mercer football team. Coach Jones, welcome to the show, baby.
Man, feel good to be here, baby.
So yeah, man, you got to look at me, man. You ain't got to look all over the place.
I'm supposed to look at the camera. I'm like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands up in here, man. First time on TV like this. Hey, I feel like prime time. Y'all got these lights like the pivot.
Shoot, you was acting like prime time. I don't know, prime time would have showed up on time.
Nah, man. Celebrity show you want to show up.
Hey, man. Hey, when we said, man, you got me ready for the real world.
You got to be ready, man.
Got to be ready.
Any hiccups.
Man, but how you feeling though?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Been a long day.
Definitely.
You know, had practice this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Little man went to sleep at 12.
Mm-hmm.
Just met with some coaches. Now I'm with you.
Yeah,
it's all part of
full
it. Full
day, man. So
yeah.
Think about my point of view.
Oh yeah.
Being up since 5:30 in the morning, going to practice.
Oh yeah.
Going to stretch. Now I gotta go to breakfast test, lunch check. Now,
what I told you though.
Podcast.
What I told you. That's what we signed up for.
Exactly. That's what we signed up
That's
for.
what we signed up
got
for.
to be the best, man. Hey.
Yes, sir.
Man, Coach, let's go back to 2012, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what happened in 2012, right?
My first year coach.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Over at Tusculum College, your alma mater.
Yeah.
So you playing ball, right? You won a conference championship in 2008
Yep.
with Tusculum, man, and then went on to transition into coaching, right?
Yeah.
So after playing ball, what made you want to get into coaching?
Man, really my wife. Man, I never, growing up, I ain't know I could be a coach. Mm-hmm. Maybe a high school coach, but not a college football coach. I ain't even know the process of doing it. Do you apply for it? Do you do this?
Right.
And I kind of just going through, and we was just dating at the time, back in 2008, we first started dating. I always want to do something to give back. Like, do I go home and do something like with the kids, or do like a rent department? Do I do a YMCA type Boys and Girls Club? I just knew I wanted to give back to kids that kind of grew up like I did. Mm-hmm. She was like, man, you ever thought about coaching or whatever? So I changed my major, because at the time I was a sports management major, came from an athletic training major, changed it to coaching, and graduated, got an opportunity to start coaching. That's kind of how it happened. Just my wife just encouraged me and said, hey, finding something that I like to do when I get out of there. Yeah. So I always thought I was going to be a high school coach. So I got I got certified to teach, just in case I had to go to high school. But the opportunity came to be a college coach, and been running with it since.
Definitely, man, because you never went and coached in high school, right?
No, I never did. I ain't deal with them bad kids, man. I've been all with 18-year-olds and up ever since I started coaching.
So after Tusculum, you went on to Clark Atlanta.
Yep.
And you got your master's there, but you were getting your master's you started out as a GA. Yep. Then you climbed your ranks as a wide receiver coach and then a running back coach, right? Mm-hmm. So what was that like, going from Tusculum and then moving on to Atlanta, man? Yeah. Out there in the AUC, you went from the sticks to the AUC.
They were different.
What was that like?
I was live on Peter Street. They knew I was out there all the time. But it was cool, man. To be honest, I was kind of nervous about it. I'm a country boy. Like, I ain't never stayed in the city. Like, I'm staying downtown Atlanta. I can walk to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah.
And I'm about to go to school and do something that I think I want to do, but I really don't know how it's going to go. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a master's. I don't care about no school. I'm doing it to coach football.
Right.
So, but I was like, man, again, my wife just go take a chance. I knew I had a high school job lined up. Mm-hmm. I can go back home. I know everybody back home. I know the principals. I know everybody in the board of education. I got a job lined up when I wanted. But how many opportunities you gonna get to coach college football?
Exactly.
So I took the chance. Man, I went down there, and like I said, then it's been a wrap since. But I loved Atlanta. I was out there. I got my refund check. I budgeted that thing out. I knew I wanted to pay. I had to pay my bills. I had to eat. Everything else went to the streets. I was out there
living your best life, man.
I was out there enjoying Atlanta.
Yeah,
it was cool. Some good times, man.
Right. So being so young at the time, you old, baby.
I'm still young. I'm 35. That ain't old. You'll be 35 one day. It ain't gonna be old.
Hey, that's a blessing to be 35 one day. But man, being so young at the time, being in Atlanta and coaching young athletes at that time, did you miss the game, or were you still?
You always miss the game.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss the game forever, especially when being an athlete, how much you have to give to it.
Right.
Man, you don't miss the stuff we were just talking about, the early wake ups and all that. But them Saturdays gonna feel the same. Like it's still now when Saturday come, it feel like Saturday. You think about it all day. You thinking about it on Friday. Like it was, especially back then. You fresh out. Like I thought I could still play another season. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
I just got through.
Right, like move out the way. Let me show you young boys how to get down.
I was out there with the cleats on doing drills. I'm doing flag football leagues. Like you miss it, but like I said, you just at that point you just pouring into the next generation. And then being so young, you still adjusting to the how to be a coach type dude. I'm only 24 years old. I think 25 at the time. It's 24-year-olds on the team. We got the guys out there they old, 23, 23, 22. So, and my dad always told me when I went into it, you ain't going up to be nobody's friends. Like, so you always got to keep that balance of, we're going to be cool. I want you to have a good relationship, but we ain't hanging. Like, I know we could be in certain places at the same time.
Exactly.
We ain't hanging out. If I see you, I ain't doing no way what you doing.
I'm about to say, so were there moments like where you mess around, been at the club or something like that, or the bar, and you see
that actually never happened.
Really?
And I don't know how it never happened in Atlanta, but it never happened.
I'm about to say, because Atlanta big but small at the same time, man.
I never ran into anybody. I was always kind of doing my thing, they were doing their things, and I guess too, because we had a young team when we took over. It wasn't a lot of. We had a couple 21 plus, but they all did their own little deal, and I'm always with I'm with 21 up clubs and all that kind of stuff.
Hang with them country soul people.
I ain't with nobody. You let 18-year-olds in, ain't in there.
Right.
I'm like, wait, I'm in the 25 and up.
Right.
Sweet lounge and all that kind of stuff. So.
See, I don't know nothing about that, man. So you look like a cigar bar kind of guy.
You know,
man.
I'm in there.
Yeah.
Gotta have a cigar.
Got to. So after your tenure at Clark Atlanta, right? How did you end up moving forward to or transitioning into Reinhardt University?
It really from Coach Miller that you met, Coach James Miller. So my first year when I was a GA, Coach Miller was the O-line coach at Clark Atlanta. Okay. That he stayed 1 year. The next year when I got promoted from GA to running back coach, he moved on and went to Reinhardt. So I spent another year at Clark. The next year they had a job opening. So that spring, I actually got promoted to interim offensive coordinator. Like some stuff happened, so we had some transition happen in the coaching staff. Offensive coordinator left. Head coach of the town kind of let me do it and trusted me to do it. And I did it all spring. I'm on my first full time year. I went a student assistant year in 12, GA year in 13. Spring 15, I'm the offensive coordinator. And it's like, man, I don't know how I got there. It happened so fast. But then Coach Miller called me and was like, man, we got a running back job open. Would you want to come interview for it? I was like, shoot. They told me to pay. It was more than I was getting paid. I looked at their record from the year from last year. They had some good stuff going on. Like, Cronin always had top offense. His offense always, no matter where he been. I said, shoot, I'm trying to get some of that.
Always putting up the numbers,
putting up numbers forever.
Everywhere.
Like, this ain't new.
Right.
So went up there, met Coach Cronin, did the interview. So he called me back that night. Like, he's like, I ain't interviewing nobody else. Like, hey, do you want it? You want it? He's like, I only can pay you this. How you feel about that? I guess he thought I was getting paid more. I went from a D2 to an NAIA.
Yeah.
The number he said was more than I was getting paid. I'm thinking in my head, so what you mean? Would I take that? I said, let me think about it. Acting like it was like, hey, I'm gonna see if I make that
Trying
work.
To play the game, huh?
So I was like, yeah, I'm in there. When you want me to come tomorrow? I'll be there. So,
how fast you go over there?
So I started working there maybe the next couple of weeks. It was like they started doing summer camps. I didn't officially get hired till July 1st. But I did all the summer camp stuff with them all June. So I went on up there, started working, started learning everything, and started doing what I can do. So
when you got over to Reinhardt, it's like y'all hit the ground running, right? Yeah. Y'all ended up winning 6 or was it 8 conference titles in a row?
We didn't win in 15, but we won from 16 to now. They still win it, but until I left, we won it every year. So we lost in the conference championship in 2015, my first year up there, to a shootout, but we won a lot of games, did a lot of good things, man. And it was cool because it's kind of like, it's almost like Mercer. It's a young program. They started in 2013. Right. So we got to see it build up. It's the same way we're with y'all right now. It's, everything you doing is new. Everybody got a chance to break records. So you set the tone for when it's 50 years from now, you laid the foundation. So Reinhardt was different. It was different to us because we kind of laid the foundation and got it to where it's at now, winning 8, 9 conference championships in a row. So it was cool.
Right. So with going from Tusculum, right, and then going to Clark Atlanta, and then transitioning to what some may say is downward as far as the divisions in the NCAA, going to NAIA school, what was it like for you as far as the grind of, being with certain players, right, or dealing with not as many resources that you may have had at a Division II program, or you in the future would deal with at a Division I school, right? So what was that grind like at an NAI school?
It wasn't that bad. And the players-wise, we had players that could play here. Like, we really had players back then. And it wasn't so many schools in Georgia back then. So the options, we was getting different kind of guys. Like, them 15, 16, 17, 18 years, we had guys that could play FCS football. No doubt in my mind. Like, we had some dudes. That's why we won a lot of games. Right. And the resources, they had money. Man, Clark Atlanta won so much different than going to Reinhardt. So it was like, I was actually coming up everything that we had. Man, it wasn't Mercer by no means. Now, that was the adjustment when I came here, the stuff that we got here. Yeah. Now, y'all was spoiled. And them kids around Hart, they getting out the mud. They out there grinding. We had the essentials. Yeah. Nice weight rooms, beautiful and all that kind of stuff. We got a big enough standard for what we need, but it was, only thing that was different, the NAI ain't got no rules. We went out there first day of practice, full pass, tackle to the ground.
Who's the head coach? That's Coach Cronic?
Coach Cronic.
Oh my God! That sounds like Coach Miller right there.
Well, he said it was so many staff meetings. We just going through the practice plan. He said, "All right, we got practice today. I'm coming from NCAA. You got rules. 2 helmet days. You got a shell day, helmet and shoulder pads. Couple days, then you full pass. I'm just getting my game plan ready for practice. Like, we got helmets on." He said, "All right, so we're going to loud tackle. We got lemon tackle to the ground." And I said, "What you say, Coach?" I'm talking about cutting, tackling, everything. I ain't even taught these kids how to cut a nut. First day, find out what you got at Reinhardt. Yeah. Like, you had to like football. I'm just playing.
Man, that's what, it wasn't to that extreme. But my freshman year, man, I be telling these young boys, man, they got it good. Oh, yeah. Man, my freshman year, we was getting after it, man. For them 3 games, like, because we were playing, or we were practicing, but we didn't know we were having a season. Yeah. Coach, we were getting after it, man. Then we had some knucklehead freshmen on the team that came in with me. Man, we out there with the shells on. They tackling with the shells on. I'm talking about chop blocking you, hit you down low on your knees, man. Man, you leave practice feeling like you played a full game, you know. Yeah. So I somewhat understand just because it's Coach Cronic, you know.
Yeah, imagine what he was like back then. This 2023. So that was 2015, a little younger. Yeah. With no rule, we was going.
I bet he was.
It was tough.
And his dad was out there too, right?
So I got there after his dad.
Okay.
So Coach Cronic was just the OC in 13 and 14. That's when his dad was coaching. In 15, his dad finally retired and let Coach Cronic take over as the head coach. So when I got there, I knew of Dr. Cronic, kind of because he's always around, but I didn't actually work for Dr. Cronic.
Okay.
So
I didn't know he's a doctor.
No, it's Dr. Cronic right there.
So he threw me off. Dr. Cronic. I'm like, let me. Yeah, okay. Cronic. Okay, so 2 years ago, right? John Russ, because he told me I call him John now.
That's what he told you.
Yeah, he told me I call him John.
Find that with me, man. We come around here with Coach
believe him. Coach Fred. I'm gone. It's Freddie. Hey, but so John Russ, Coach Russ, who recruited me out of high school, he decided to move on from coaching football at Mercer University, right? And then I'm like, man, who's the next running back coach going to be, man? Hopefully, Coach Russ is a great coach, and taught me a lot. But, obviously as a running back, sometimes you want to play with somebody or play for somebody that played your position, right? And when you came around, I didn't know who you were, but I was still excited to see what you had to offer, right? Yeah. But what were you thinking at that time, coming from a NAIA school, going up and down as far as divisions, right? Like, man, this is my next shot, as far as being a coach, So what was that like for you at that time?
All that was real on my mind was just the adjustment of just how I was going to attack creating a relationship with a new group. I was at Reinhardt from 2015 to 2022. Like, I was that new guy in 15, but by the time I left, man, I got those relationships. I done seen 3 different classes come through and graduate. So I got the alumni coming back that know me. The new guys come in. I got a whole group that know me. I'm not having to worry about learning everybody. I know majority of the team. I just got to learn the freshmen, which I done recruited, and they know me as the offensive coordinator. So he was more like, all right, I got this new group. Are they going to trust me? How they going to believe in what my vision? So it's like how do I attack this thing and get these guys to kind of get on my side? That's how you got to do when you go into a new place. I don't know nobody.
Right.
I ain't know nobody on the coaching staff but Coach Chronic. Like I met everybody brand new. So I'm like, I'm learning these coaches, I'm learning the players, what's their twitches, what get them going. I know about the first time I made you mad, I called you soft in the mean room. And boy, you ran the ball hard about everything. But you just trying to learn, everybody's like, Coach Bodine told me too. I said, I'm gonna call his ass soft today. Coach Bodine said, I don't know if you want to do that. He said, I think the last coach tried that. It didn't go out too good. I was like, I'm gonna try it out.
So you did it on purpose. You tried it on purpose.
I'm gonna try it out.
Oh man. Hey, I don't like that.
Pissed off. And he came back ready to ride.
Yeah.
The same way, like you was trying to figure out, it's the same way, when B. Marsh was out there, I demoted them. Just trying to see what keep guys going and how they do it and how they respond. And you just trying to learn your new guys and how they, what make them tick and make them try to, create a relationship with them. So it was cool. Like, I ended up just got into a whole bunch of good guys. We had a good group last spring. So got into a good situation. We had talented players. Out there we had good dudes. So after I finally got to know y'all and everything, it was smooth sailing after that.
You're right. So that transition wasn't really nothing crazy for you.
Yeah, like I said, I had all the football stuff. That was different. You had to get used to. It's different. The money is different. So the stuff you're able to do is different. The transition of how do we recruit now? We're recruiting more. And around we don't recruit at Georgia. We'll touch Tennessee or something like that if we got a kid, but we really didn't have to go out the state to make our stuff go at Reinhardt. Here we're recruiting everywhere. So I got more people to recruit. The system is different. Everything is different. We're going from using Huddle to Exo. I'm in the meeting room trying to learn how to.
Struggling with that.
I got Coach Mosley over there. Hey man, get this thing right for me. I went from knowing everything about everything to learning stuff. Like the offense was, similar, so I didn't have to learn as much. But everything else was. I went from being the guy that everybody came to. If you got a problem, I got to fix it to. I gotta be the guy, Coach O'Brien. Can you help me with this? Coach Sam, can you help me with this?
Right.
And that was different for me because, like I said, I was the assistant head coach at Reinhardt. I had that title. So I was the guy I'm always speaking in front of the team. I'm the guy I'm over different things. And when I got here, I was kind of, they gave me the run game coordinator type, but I was just over running back. So I stepped all the way back down. So that was a big adjustment of just being able to step back and do it look at it from a different eye of now. All right, I'm learning. I'm trying to fit in where I fit in instead of people fitting in what I fit in. Right. As in the guy that I ran the show as the coordinator. Because Coach Miller let me do what I wanted to do. So
at least you got your own office, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little off.
Right. So on a lot of podcasts, right, they like to ask guys or a lot of athletes, what was your welcome to football moment, right? Or what was your welcome to tennis or whatever sport's going on, right? I haven't really heard anybody ask a coach, what was your welcome to coaching moment? I'm sure there's some wild moments.
Shoot, man, when you a GA, it's a lot of welcome to coaches moments.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know one just that kind of stands out, but you getting used to when you think you've been working as a player, like, all right, we grinding, but you get to take a nap. I don't know the last time I took no nap. Like, naps is gone. Like, it's a different kind of grind. Even when y'all practice, y'all go back to the room. You don't never leave the field house, especially when you first start as a GA, because you're doing more stuff than the regular coach is doing. You're responsible for breaking the film down. You're responsible for, and we ain't had no doggone Drew Trainer at Clark Atlanta. We was Drew Trainer. We handing equipment out. We doing laundry. You got to go back home and cut the film up. I'm putting the wide with the tight. So just the hours that when you first get into it, that you really don't think about it when you as a player. Because at Tusculum, I was a student assistant. I still kind of worked my own job on the side. So it wasn't as bad yet. But when I got to Clark, when I was really in it.
That's when that grind kicked
in.
Like,
it's different. Like, you up. And you got to get it done. It ain't no, all right, I didn't get the job done, coach. You about to get fired. You got a task, you got to figure it out, you got to do it.
Definitely.
And as a GA, Coach Miller ain't about to cut this film up for you. You got to cut that film up. That's what you here for. They might give you some tips on how to do it, but you here to do all that stuff, and I still had a position to coach. I was still the receiver coach. I was a GA, but it wasn't a receiver coach, and I was helping them out. I was the receiver coach, so it was a grind.
What prepared you for that kind of struggle or grind right there?
What you doing right now?
Playing.
Ain't nothing different than being a student athlete. The hours you put in and the grind, the extra work that you put into it, and just everything else really easy after that. Cause that's your mind, that's your everyday.
Right.
What you do right now is setting you up higher than anybody else, just a regular student at a university. When I graduated that 2012 spring semester, I said, this is what people doing in regular life when football was over.
It's crazy you said that, Coach. Me and my dad were just talking about how when he was a GA at Syracuse, McNabb and all those guys were up there, and he was talking about, man, this was like being a regular student. Like he said, he was living his best life, as far as, not doing cutting up film and all that other stuff. Yeah. I mean, just the relief of not having to get up at 5:30 in the morning to go practice or lift weights, whatever the case may be. You get to actually just, once you're done with work, I mean, you're done.
I just did school and I ain't got nothing else to do. It's like, I got this much free time. You don't realize how much time is in the day now that you got. So what y'all doing now, the grind you putting into yourself, you go through 4 or 5 years of college, any kind of college sports, it makes everything else easier. And my background, kind of how I grew up, I've been working my whole life. That's how I kind of be set up. I'm from a family of workers. My mama worked 2 or 3 jobs. Just everybody work. Aunties, everybody been working. So it's already in me too. I work. I'm a grind. I ain't asking no questions. I'm gone. Yeah. Whatever the goal is, let's go do it. Let's go make it happen. Ain't no complaining. So it kind of set me on up.
Definitely. And so with you playing, right, being a college football player, and all the life lessons that you've learned from that and gained from that. And now you're a father of 2. You just had a baby girl, baby Naomi. Oh, yeah. And now you got little Lee as well. You're a father and a husband. So with all of that, what has the grinds of being a college athlete, how has that prepared you for the life of being a father and a husband as well?
That's the Bible, right? That's Jesus. But to get into the word, to help you out for all that stuff. But it's an everyday adjustment. As soon as you think you figured it out, something else coming up. It's continuously and I'm getting better every year. When I first probably started coaching, I wasn't a great coach's husband, what you want to say. It was just still getting used to thinking about how the other side is feeling. Because like when I get my free time, I want to kind of do what I want to do in my free time. I may want to have my family up here on my free time. But you don't think about that your free time became your only free time with your wife. So like we used to get I bring my family up every game. They want to come to every. That's how I always been. They want to go to every game. They want to do everything I do, and I want to do everything they doing. Like I stay 2 hours away. Country folks have a event every weekend. Right. But it's kind of that balance of I gotta put time aside. It ain't just about me no more. I gotta think about them. And then you add kids to the mix.
Whole different ball game, huh?
It's a whole different ball game. Right. Now you're worrying about your kids and your wife time and your professional career. It's an everyday learning battle. You learning something new every day.
So what was the biggest adjustment for you as far as being a father and a husband and being a college football coach?
Really just that time management. You really got to think about what you're doing with your time. Yeah. You can't just go. It ain't I just go. You know me. Every day I might just do. I want to do something. I want to play golf at 3 o'clock. I'm going to go play golf. I want to go to the cigar bar. I'm going out there. You got to think about your time management. I got to do this. I got to do this, and I need to do this. I might want to do this, but I know I need to be doing this. Like right now, we're at the house. My wife about mad at because we got 2 more weekends left, and I still ain't painted that porch yet. So I got to get that
before
done.
That season kick
before
off.
That fall, June, but July 28th start. You got to have the old stuff like, but a calendar. That calendar being the best thing. I got stuff on the calendar. This is what I'm doing. I got to do this. Because my mind be on football about that calendar. I know I got this for football. Other than that, I ain't worried about it. So especially with them kids, you got to time management, having that calendar together. This is what's important. This is what you got to do. And really thinking about it every day. Not just going from 1 second to second. Playing your days out.
So one thing that we talked about, me and you one-on-one, like off camera, right, was basically how a husband or father, they have different kind of lives, right? You have your life with your children, you have your life with your wife, then you have your work life, and then what makes you essentially, right? And so aside from everything as far as being a father, a husband, a coach, what makes Coach Jones, or Fred Jones, Fred Jones?
Man, what makes me kind of plays into all the other stuff, but I'm an old country boy from the sticks, man. You know, I grew up on the dirt road, grew up on a farm, and all that kind of stuff. The way I grew up with my family, all that kind of stuff, kind of still makes me who I am today. Now, like I was talking to you about, it kind of like your husband wife relationship with your kids is different between how you are behind closed doors. Cause like I've been in those kind of dysfunctional relationships with my mama and my dad of kind of being mad and mad at my dad about how the relationship went with him and my mom. But you kind of got to take your step to a side and look at that's their relationship. His relationship with me is different. You know what I'm saying? So you got those different tiers of how you parent in front of your kids, or how your relationship is as a father and as a husband and a wife, and you got to kind of tear all them battles together. And you, like you said, you still trying to be what makes Fred happy. What I'm gonna do to make myself happy. I like to smoke cigars and drink a little dark. And if I ain't drinking dark, I'm drinking some Terramano, some Espolón tequila.
Yeah.
And you got to have that as a relationship to know what each other like, what each other need, and give each other time to go do it. My wife let me do. She don't just be like, you can't do this, can't do that. I plan it out. I got this day free. I'm gonna go do this. Or we gonna do this together, away from the kids. So we do our stuff that we do together, away from the kids. I also gotta have my time away. I also let her do her thing, but right now it's kind of hard for her to do her thing. We got a month old, but like her friends, she got 2 girlfriends that she real close with. They used to take girls trips every year. Yeah. Let her go. She go 3-4 days to Colorado. They want to do their girls trip. Let them do their time. You gotta have something that it ain't just me being a dad all the time, me being a husband all the time. You gotta have your own time too. So that kind of keeps everything fresh, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
So you being 35 years old now, and climbing up you old, brother, or coach.
Second time call me old.
Yeah, you are old.
I bet you can. I bet I'll beat you in a 20-yard race.
I bet you can. I bet you can. The way you couldn't even walk to the whiteboard yesterday. You talking about beating me in a race.
Man, playing basketball.
You need to drink some water and get on that foam roller, man. But with you being 35, coach, and climbing up the ranks as fast as you have, right? Yeah. A lot of people don't really see success the way that you have, as far as, especially as a minority coach, right? And so with you being 35 years old and really the sky being the limit, where do you see yourself in the next, I guess, 5 to 10 years as far as being a coach or with your profession?
Man, like I always tell y'all, hopefully just still coaching. If Alabama, Georgia call, guess what? I'm going on up. I can't turn that check down.
I'll be right there with you.
We go. I told her, how's your GA? You ain't running the ball for me in Georgia, but I'll give you the GA job. But I don't know. Me and my wife always talk about it like, man, what if this happened? What if that happened? But I never been a guy that kind of, some coaches, they chase it. They go take any opportunity because they want to move up the ladder. I just move, and I want to be around people. What's the people I'm around? Like, one thing about working for Coach Chronic, I had a little man go to school Tuesday and Thursday morning, 8:30. We got staff meeting at 8:40. He pushes meetings back for you go handle your business, go take your son to school. You come back when we finish, we'll meet. He lets you get that family time in, and that kind of relationship with a head coach is more important to me. Trying to be anywhere because I'm chasing a check because I want to be a Power 5 coach. Like I ain't get to the point I'm at right now because I've been out here applying for jobs. I just bust my ass while I'm at it, and people see it, and that's what I get another opportunity. Because I didn't start coaching to coach. I ain't have no coaching daddy like some people I ain't go through and all that kind of stuff. I wanted relationships. I'm doing it for kids. I do it for you. When you 10 years from now, it ain't you looking at the phone, Coach Jones calling you, and you don't want to answer. Or you ain't even thinking about, you got a wedding. Nah, I ain't inviting Coach Jones to my wedding. I don't want that joker to come to my wedding. I want to be the guy, I'm getting married, and you tell me, because I'm thinking about to propose to my wife, or something happens, you feel free to come talk to me like you talk to me all the time now. Yeah. I like the relationships up. The football is that's part of I get to still get that little feed of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because I still got that hunger to be in it. It just feeds that appetite, that competitive nature I still got I want to go beat somebody else. And they don't leave you. You want to beat another man. So you got to have something that's going to feed that. That's what football does.
That competitive drive.
The competitive drive. But I do it for the kids. I love coming to work, seeing y'all, talking to the wife about what's going on with y'all, and just seeing y'all boys be successful.
Definitely. I
don't have my time. My time don't win and go. I done did what I can do with it, and I done messed up my opportunities, but I can at least be here with y'all and guide y'all on the way and give you whatever I got. inside of my mind. They didn't bust my ass while I'm doing it. And that's all I ever did. I worked hard at Clark. Opportunity came. They let me call plays. Coach Miller knew me because I worked hard with him. Brought me to Reinhardt. I tried to bust my butt there, and Coach Miller got the job, made me the OC. Coach Cronin ended up calling me down on this job because he worked with me, knew how I worked, and I got this opportunity. And I always kind of feel like the jobs are going to come every day, if I'm working the way I'm supposed to work, the other job's going to come. I ain't worried about it. But I'm going to take every day and make sure I'm developing these relationships with y'all that while the time I got it.
Definitely. And, one thing I really admire about you, Coach, is how you build those relationships with your players and your colleagues, just everybody around you, and the way you come to work every day, smiling. Like, I've been around you for almost 2 years now, and I have yet to see you act like you've had a bad day, and that takes a lot, especially in life when you are a father, you are a husband, you have 2 kids, and then you got to manage a room with 10 guys in it,
Oh, yeah.
And then guys aren't making the grades or guys wilding out, And so you basically just micromanaging a lot of different situations,
Yeah.
And for you to hold it all together and still come to work every day with a smile on your face, trying to make sure everybody bringing that energy and that juice, I really commend you on that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so that's one thing that I really just took away from you as a player, somebody just looks up to you, I just really want to emulate that from you as a coach,
Hey, listen, one thing I always say, I'm blessed. That's the thing. That's how I don't have bad days. Bad things may happen, but I've been blessed so much to be where I'm at. I can't complain. Like, I'm deep in. We always do it. That's why one thing we always talk about in our room. We're gonna do verses. We're gonna talk about God because I know where I started at and I know where I'm at. Like Fred Jones that grew up, he wasn't doing nothing to become a college football coach. I wasn't making no decisions to be a college football coach. I wasn't making no decisions to be in this chair today. I should be doing something else. I did a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have been doing and just living a different kind of lifestyle. But God always put me somewhere where I need to be at and looked out for me, put people around me. And I can't complain. Like, I seen what my mama done been through, raising us up. See my other family people don't sacrifice for me. Like, so many people don't invest it into me. All I can do is just smile and be blessed every day. That's really how I live. Like, ain't no reason to be mad. Like, something bad may happen, but God got it. I know everything on this earth is just, if you read the Bible, it's all gifts. Whatever you have, you ain't leaving with it. So whatever I got, I'm just gonna make the most out of it. I ain't worried about how much or little I got. I'm gonna take advantage of what I do have and keep going each day. Smile, pray, and go to the next one. So God got me. One day we ain't gonna be here, and I'm gonna be all right because I know who I love. I know who I honor. I honor God, Jesus Christ. So when I pass away one day, hey, I'm gone and I'm going to a better place. So I really don't. That's really how I live. I don't. What's going on here in this world don't just impact me so much that I'm just gonna ruin everybody else's day. I'm gonna pray about it. I'm gonna talk about it. With me and my wife, whatever we got, what's going on in our life, but I ain't gonna bring my bad day. Now I'm gonna fit your day because my day bad. All right, I'm cussing Al out. Why I'm cussing him out today? For no reason, because I had a bad day. And that ain't how life goes. I'm gonna be cool, you know what I'm saying? And whatever happens, gonna happen.
Definitely. So I want to go back to you as a coach, right?
Yeah.
And talk about the game of recruitment.
Yeah.
Nowadays, a lot of young guys are struggling with getting recruited, and with this day and age of Twitter, a lot of guys aren't putting their information in their bio or whatever the case may be. Don't have a Huddle account.
Yeah, they're tripping.
Exactly, they tripping, but then want to complain about how they're not getting recognized or they're not getting enough recognition as far as recruitment. So what do you have to say about these young guys out here just tripping? Not taking advantage of this new age of recruitment.
Cause they always, people they be on Facebook talking about coaches. Man, that coach don't help nobody. He might not. He might be for real. He might not have helped none of them kids. But in the day age we is now, you talking about the coach didn't help that kid, and I go on his profile, I don't see anything football related. He ain't helping himself. Like when I was in school, you can get hidden. That coach, if a coach came and talked to your coach, he bashed at you and ain't give your film out. Guess what? Your film ain't getting out because they got the film. Ain't no Huddle. Now you got Huddle. I can put it. Your social media should be your business card. When I go on your Twitter, I see everything you like. You know how Twitter, if you like it, it's popping up on your page. I'm going to a running back page. I'll go through his life. There's booty everywhere. My wife looking at my Twitter talking about, what you looking at on Twitter? I said, that's them kids on this thing.
The kids be, hey, I done seen some coaches liking some crazy stuff, man. I know you done seen it.
They be on there.
Coaches be liking some crazy
stuff,
man.
That ain't me. But
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta promote yourself. Like there's no reason this day and age that somebody shouldn't see what you got going on. Like you can DM every coach in America, your film. Yeah. Your whole Twitter page should be about your football. Your Instagram should be about your football. You're a student athlete. It's the same way y'all in college. It is what it is. You can't put anything on there. So what should be on there should be anything just producing your brand. It should be, I'm promoting myself. This is Al Wooten, the running back at Mercer. Same thing if I'm in high school. It should be promoting you to get where you want to get to.
Yes, sir.
So all kids ain't doing it though.
Definitely. So. Well, Coach, we about to wrap up the show, man. But before I wrap it up, on the show I like to talk about, or I like to have our guests give any words of insight or wisdom to anybody that's wanting to be the best version of themselves. Yeah. So for in your case, being a young black coach, right? What advice do you have for any minority coach or any young coach wanting to make it to that Division I level or just wants to be a coach, you know?
I mean, first of all, bust your butt where you at. Somebody always watching. Somebody that you may be working with probably can have a chance to hire you one day. Like me and Coach Miller went from being the running back and the O-line coach, and now he's the head coach, and he's offering me a job as offensive coordinator. So you never know who you may be in the room with that's watching you work day in, day out that you think don't matter, that's going to control your job later. Network as much as you can. Don't think you know everything. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to go reach out and go to different places and go visit with people. Because everybody got something that you can get. Grab as much stuff you can grab and let that add to what you already want to be in yourself and let that build up what you're trying to get to. So that's what I always tell kids. They always say, how you got the Mercer? God, Jesus, and I work hard. I don't know how I got here. I busted my butt, and as opportunity came, I took advantage of it because the way I presented myself every day. Like you said, I'm going to be the guy that's, I want to bring light to the room. I ain't going to be the guy that's negative. I'm always positive. I'm always happy. All that kind of stuff. People remember that. I want to hire that guy. I work for him. I ain't work for that guy. I just come here. He's mad 5 days out of 7. What the hell I want to work with that guy for? So just the way you present yourself, the way you grind every day, somebody watching. It's the same way as you as a player. Somebody's watching.
Always being evaluated.
Somebody's always evaluating. So how you present yourself every day on your job to get you where you want to be at to your goals.
Yes, sir. Man, Coach, wrapping it up, man, I got a special gift for you, man. A little unreleased merchandise, man. As you can see, everybody, I got my For All Ballerz shirt coming real soon.
I appreciate it,
Yes, sir, Coach. Man, I appreciate you, man. I love you, Coach.
Love you too, man. Yes, hey, enjoy what you're doing, man. I watched all your shows. I've been seeing them.
Finally.
Hey, you're doing a good job.
Yes, sir.
Man. I like it. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.